Okay, Orvel Douglas, how are you? I like the fit.
Good. Hey, I'm okay. I'm good. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you came in here so much energy, and you are almost 62 years young.
Yes. February, 62 years.
That's incredible.
Yeah, thank you.
So give us your secrets. Just right off the bat, let's get into it.
It's just basically, I just live an active lifestyle, just eat the fruits. Fruits is part of it, but I always mention that exercise is so important because if you don't use it, you lose it.
Exercise is so key.
So key. So it's a daily routine for me every single day. I get up early in the morning. I'm at the gym. I'm at 4 o'clock. I'm at the gym at 5 o'clock. Do my workout. Sometimes it's an hour. Sometimes it's 2 hours. It depends what I'm doing. And then after that, I'm energized for the rest of the day.
Yeah, I almost think that movement and exercise is more important than the food we eat. Like, yes. I'm all about eating whole food, eating real food, but I almost think like the movement, and even in New York City, I'm here with my friend,
right?
And she's from another country, and she's like, wow, I just noticed everybody's so slim in New York, and it's all the walking,
Yeah. Movement is so important. People, you eat a great diet, but if you're not moving, then what's the point?
And I've heard that movement and exercise is very anti-aging.
Yes, absolutely. Because, if you're sitting around, then everything has got to seize up, So, yeah,
and
you have to move around.
Another fact I see on my little Instagram scrolling lately is how much exercise benefits brain health and trauma and preventing Alzheimer's. So we got to get moving. We got to get eating right.
Yeah.
And okay, so you are 30 years plant-based, right?
Yes.
And I think 13 years fruitarian.
Yes, that's
correct.
correct.
And from what I hear, I think the last few years you've just been eating one meal a day of only fruit. Am I right?
That's correct. Yes.
And how do you feel on that?
I feel great because I think when people always think about food, it's not that they're hungry, they're thinking about the food.
Yeah.
Or when's my next meal, or they're craving something that they really want. That's what it is, I think the body doesn't need as much as we think we need, because if you're not, for instance, you go to work the whole day and say you've been busy with an assignment and then you haven't eaten anything, and then at the end of the day, wait a minute, I didn't eat anything, but they're not saying, oh, I'm hungry, I got to finish this assignment. No, it's all about in the mind. That's what I think anyway. So if you're not focusing on food, then you'll notice that your body doesn't need, extra,
Yeah, I agree. And I think there can be dangers that come along with eating too much. What do you think can happen if we're like carried away with eating excess amounts of food?
Yeah, eating excess amount of food is not even good because it weighs you down. You feel sluggish. You have no energy. I find that the less I eat, the more energy I have.
Wow.
Because I cannot go to the gym after a meal. Say, for instance, even if I had fruits, I cannot go to the gym after a meal because, I'll be able to work out, but I don't have the amount of energy is when I go there on an empty stomach. When I'm on an empty stomach, I'm just fueling, I'm just energized. But if I eat something, then it may slow down. Well, it actually does slow down. That's the reason why I go first thing in the morning, because before I eat anything, because that's when I've been asleep for 6 to 7 hours, and I wake up and I'm ready to go. And
you probably have a lot of energy being fruitarian, right? Like when you wake up and stuff.
Yeah. Wake up, go to the bathroom, get myself together.
Do you ever go down the street and just crave like the old foods, crave the other foods people are eating, like the pizza, the bagels, all that stuff?
No, because it doesn't smell good.
It's not real food, right?
No, it's not. It's not real food. And I always think about, even if you crave something, think about what the food you are presently eating doing for you. If it's doing good for you, you feel great. Why would you want to sabotage? I mean, self-sabotage can happen, but it's more than that. It's more about feeling well and just feeling great. And you can get up and do the same things what you do all the time. A lot of us take things for granted. People have ailments, inflammation in their body, and it's because it's not that they may have arthritis or it's the way they've been eating.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it causes a lot of problems.
Exactly,
It causes a lot of problems.
Yeah. And okay, so take us through your journey for people who don't know. So 30 years ago you went plant-based. So that was around the age of 30.
Yes. Yeah.
So when was that? That was 1990 something?
Yeah, 1990s. I can't remember.
I don't think it was a very healthy decade in the 90s, right? So to go plant-based in the 90s, that's amazing, Orville. What triggered that?
Well, I think, first of all, people thought I lost my mind, first of all, when I first did it. But I just saw the way, I just was reading, I was always into fitness. And, I just read, health magazines. So I was, eating meat and all that kind of stuff. But it wasn't really, I always like to try something new. That's what it was. So when I was back then, I was like, think like almost 200 pounds when I came to this country, like weight, and I just didn't like the way I looked, so I changed my diet and, you know, exercise and eating the right foods, and I started to read books about nutrition. I saw some about vegan stuff and all that kind of stuff. I went to school for nutrition, and then talked about different diets, and that's what made more sense to me.
Wow.
Yeah, because I just saw that all these other foods, well, I was researching it anyway, that can cause disease in the body.
And wow, good for you at a young age like that. That's great in that decade.
Yeah, and it was more for me. It was more about prevention and cure. A lot of people make these changes if they have an issue that they want to reverse. But for me, it was more of a prevention, because when I just looked as a younger man and just seeing, you know, family members at a certain age, they were fit when I was a little kid, but when they get to like 40 years old, they start to fall apart. You know, and it's like I just said to myself, if that's happening to them, that's gonna happen to me. Mm-hmm. That's got to be my future, and I just didn't want it to be my future. Now, anything can happen regarding health, but I just wanted to try something, you know, more prevention.
And most of the time, it takes a health crisis for somebody to be like, I'm going to make a change.
Absolutely.
So good for you. And especially that was like even the pre-YouTube days, right? YouTube wasn't even around, I think, until 2005.
It was nothing like what it's now. It was nothing like that. So it's just basically I did that, and you know, having
with good old books.
Yeah. Having kids, you know, having a daughter, you know, and then having the grandkids and stuff like that, and it's like I'm able to move around with them.
Yeah,
that's important.
True, exactly. That's important to me. That's why I like to live a healthy life now. And so, what differences did you notice? Any differences? Did you feel better when you went?
Yeah, I felt better. I felt better when I went. You know, when I went to a vegan diet. I didn't feel bad before, because I never was a person. I was even before I was even vegan. I wasn't even a person that was a sickly child. I wasn't really that. You know, I had a couple of issues, but that was it. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't a sickly child. I had to take medicine, but I always had energy. But once I went to the vegan diet, it was the younger years, and that kind of led me to where I am right today.
Yeah. Okay. And then when you went raw, you probably noticed a big difference from the cooked.
Yeah. Less sleep. Just felt lighter, more energy. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, okay, so what's led you to one meal a day? And what do you say to people who are like, that's crazy, Orville, you're going to die? Like, that's just maddening. You can't do this long term.
Well, I'll see you in 10 years. But no, you know, it's just like, I tell people I don't do anything that I do not do it intentionally. So people may be thinking I'm just having one meal a day intentionally. A lot of people do intentional one meal a day. I don't do that. I do what my body tells me that it needs. So it wasn't always one meal a day. It led to one meal a day after a certain amount of years being on fruits. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I was like I think like 2 meals a day. I was eating 2-3 meals a day. But it's just like that one meal sustains me. So I have more energy than the majority of the people. I mean, I do a lot of walk in New York. Sometimes I'm covering maybe 40,000 steps in a day, something like that, you know, and because I do a lot of walking. Even when I go to the gym, after I leave the gym within the day, I'm walking a lot.
And how do you feel being fruitarian has changed you?
It just makes me see things clearer. You know, you just kind of see what's really around you. You know, it's a good feeling. It's a energetic. It's a youthful. It's a light feeling. You know, you have a different thought pattern than anyone else. You know, you see things for what they really are.
Well said. And your skin, it might be the ultimate skin. Like, it's got such a glow. Maybe one of the most glowing skins I've ever seen. So what are your secrets to skin health?
Well, I just use water to wash my face, distilled water to see. I don't use any soaps, anything like that on my face. Never. I use a little bit of castor oil on my whole body.
Wow.
So I like that. You know, so that gives it a nice shine, and it doesn't clog my skin up or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. So, and I've heard you don't drink water. Is this true?
Yeah,
like ever, Orville?
Well, not say ever. If I drink water, if I have a meal that's non-fruit.
I see.
Because it makes me thirsty. Now, so when I'm eating the fruits, the hydration from the fruits keeps me hydrated. So a lot of times people get thirsty, and that's the only time I get thirsty if it's a non-fruit meal. That's the only time.
And it's such a big difference, probably, you notice if you eat something else. Like, even for me, I went out to dinner the other day and ate a bunch of raw gourmet, and then I that was 3 nights ago. I'm only just feeling really good now, because you feel so different, right? How you eat.
Because raw gourmet, the fats and the salts and the herbs, you kind of, after 20 minutes, I'm dried out. It's just like I'm drinking water for the whole night till maybe the next day, and I kind of feel hydrated again. But
Yeah. Okay. And so, what is your one meal a day? Does it change? Is it?
Well, yeah. It changes a lot. It depends on what I'm feeling for. In the summertime, well, the past couple of months, they had some great mangoes in New York. They had these mangoes from Mexico. I think they were called Hayden mangoes. I think that was the name of them. And they were really good. So I was feasting off those, and my favorite is usually grapes. But there's one thing I have to let the viewers know. A lot of the viewers know that I don't really watermelons. I have to have a taste for them. Not to say I dislike it, but I eat it every now and then. It's not one of my favorite fruits. But the other day, because I have a watermelon truck, it's a famous watermelon truck. It's on Facebook. They're called the Black Seed Brothers, and they have right on the corner of my block where I live, and they have these seeded watermelons, and they always offer 3 pieces. So I said, okay, I just felt like, and I said, oh my God, this is really delicious. For the last 6 days, I've been there every day. I've just been having watermelons for the last 6 days, and usually I'm not a watermelon eater.
Yeah.
Because people who know me, who follow me, knows I'm not a watermelon eater. But recently, the last 6 days, all I've had is watermelons.
Yeah. And how do you ensure you're getting all your nutrition? If some people are like, asking about that.
Yeah, I don't focus on nutrition. I don't focus on that. I focus on how I feel. Animals in the wild, they eat whatever they eat. They get their nutrition. But us as humans, we focus on protein, we will focus on fats, we focus on this, we focus on that, and we still stay sick. As they say, the less you eat, the longer you live. So that kind of blows the myth about nutrition.
True.
So people, I tell people, you have to be a critical thinker when it comes to yourself, because you're fed so much information, but you have to put it in your mind and say, does this make sense to me? So I don't go by, you have to have this, you have to go that. I just eat when I want to eat and what I want to eat, and that's it. And I have no problems, so.
And I'm guessing this has been a deeply spiritual experience, has it not? Like, do you feel more connected to God, and do you feel like, if you believe in God, a deep spiritual sense on this lifestyle?
Yeah, I do. I just feel at one. I feel at peace, every single day. I'm not worried about anything. I just get on with life and just enjoy it. Life is here for living and enjoying.
And has your life around you changed at all? Because I know this happens a lot when we take on a different lifestyle, when we start eating real food. Lots of times our whole life changes. Like, where would you think you'd be now versus if you hadn't taken this path years ago?
Good question. I don't think I would be doing what I'm doing right now. It's really hard to say, but I think everything happens for a reason. Me too. And I guess, when I was a child, I wouldn't expect I'll be here in the United States. I wouldn't expect I'll be doing what I'm doing. It's weird how your life can take a turn, and going from one lifestyle, from eating meat to vegan diet, and leads to raw vegan to fruitarian. So who knows? Who knows what's next?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I think you do sales for work too, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And I think, do you notice that you're more successful, you think, because of eating a clean diet? Or no?
It depends really, because right now with the economy and stuff like that, sometimes, it's very hard to sell. I mean, you do get it, so I wouldn't, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. And I asked some of my viewers for some questions too. And I know, so this girl, she said, I joined so you do some fruit cleanses with people online, right?
Yes,
so you guys do them together and stuff, like in a group?
In a group, yeah.
And so she said she did the fruit cleanse and the community was amazing. She learned so much. She'd like to know, do you ever dry fast? Oh, do you dry fast?
I don't.
No.
Well, actually,
me too.
Okay, let me change that. I do, but naturally. Meaning, what I mean by that is, intentionally.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
Because in between meals, I don't need to drink any water.
True.
But other than that, I always, even in the group, in my group, I say to people, you should not dry fast intentionally. If you are eating and you feel hydrated, that is fine. I'm not telling anyone not to drink any water. Drink your water, because a lot of people are still in that dehydrated state. So keep on drinking water. This is what I tell them in the group. Now, if you find that you don't need water in between your fruit meals, you're good to go. But dry fasting, when you say, it's 10 o'clock, I got like another 10 hours, you're looking at the clock before you can break it. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Yeah.
And so in your group, they're not doing one meal a day though.
No, they're not. No, it's all about, because I only need 1 meal a day.
Yeah, but that's not everybody else.
That's not everybody.
No.
So what I'm doing, I'm not telling anyone in the group to do 1 meal a day. Even some people think they should. I said no. don't do that. If you need to eat as often as possible, even if it's 5 or 10 times a day your fruit, so be it. It doesn't matter, because you're still going to get the results you're going to get. I only eat 1 meal a day because that's all my body requires. Yeah, and if you get to that stage, then so be it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, and somebody wanted to know some advice how to transition to all raw.
It's all about focus, your mind. You know, I can tell you to do this and do that, but no, it's all about your mindset. You know, if you're going to do something that's got to be healthy for you, it may be hard, but it's not going to kill you. You know, you have to say, okay, I'm not doing this, I'm going to eat raw. You have to use that focus in your mind. You know, people say, do this and do that. No, it's a mindset. It's not, you know, it's your mindset. You have to change. Before anything can change, you have to change your mindset. If that light bulb moment goes up and you're ready to do what you're supposed to do, then you'll do it, despite how hard it is.
True. And do you think you'll do this forever? Do you have a goal? Like, I want to live to 105 or?
Actually, no, I don't have a goal. I have a goal. It's more about, it's more about the quality of life than the quantity of life. For me, it's all about, while I'm here, because anything can happen, anything, I can get hit by a car, anything can happen.
True, exactly.
You know, but it's all about quality of life, because while I'm here, I can do the things I can do. I can walk around my grandkids, my daughter. I can do stuff with them, you know, and that's what it's about. It's having a good quality of life. And I'd rather have a good quality of life than getting to 100 years old and having kind of like, you know, being kept alive by medication or, you know, a breathing tube or something.
Yeah.
No, that you're already dead. You're already dead.
That's no way to live.
Yeah.
Okay, and somebody wants to know, this is a good question, why do you think you've aged so well, both health and look-wise, while some long-term raw foodists haven't? With all, that's a good question.
Yeah, I've always said this before, a lot has to do with genetics. Genetics. Yes, you turn raw vegan or whatever. You always make improvements internally. Also, sometimes, you know, usually skin looks better, but it's all to do with genetics.
Yeah.
I don't tell people, oh, fruits, you know, because
True.
It make me youthful. I said, yeah, it makes me feel youthful, but I would say I have good genes coming from my parents, because I look, at my parents look, you know, and my grandkids and my daughter, they have great skin, they look good. So it's all to do with genetics as well, you know. But
and I think our mindset and our attitude. And you seem like you have a really positive mindset and attitude, and I think that really helps a lot too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I think. Okay, somebody said, what happens to your blood sugar when you eat so much fruit? Do you notice any blood sugar issues?
No. I don't measure my blood sugar, but blood sugar issues only. You know, if you eat any type of sugar, your blood sugar has to go up anyway. That's a natural thing. But it's not about how it goes up; it's how quick it comes down. That's what people fail to understand. So when people's blood sugar stays raised for hours, then that's a problem. And when you're eating fruit, you're only eating hydrating fruit with water in there. Fats is what causes your sugar levels to stay up. That's what it is. So if you have a diet mixture of a lot of fats and sugar,
a lot of fat in the bloodstream, right, with the sugar. That's what I hear.
So fruits, I'm not, you know, I have the trace amount of fats that's found in the fruits, you know, with the water and the sugar. So, you know, I don't feel, as I said, I don't measure my blood sugar, but I don't have any problems.
No health problems at all? Not over all these years?
Zero.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, zero. No health problems.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, and somebody said how to deal with cold temperatures. Like, they're in Toronto, so it's kind of similar weather to New York, a little bit colder. So I think a lot of people would struggle with that, with eating clean in like the winter months. I always say when it comes to fruits and eating, I find that is a big excuse when it comes to winter time. So I cannot eat fruits because it's too cold. But in the summertime, you're eating cooked food and it's hot. That's the way I look at it. You know, you can. I mean, if you're cold, you can be in a room where it's warm. If it makes you feel a little cold, be in a room. Don't eat outside. Eat inside in a warm room. You know, but some people say, oh, at winter time I cannot eat. You know, fruit is too cold here. I said, yes, you can, because if you can eat hot food in the summertime, you can eat cold foods in the winter time. Yeah. And how do you stay disciplined? Like, you know, to just eat real food for 30 years. Where does the discipline come from? Like, what is your why for staying on track with this?
My why is basically for being there for my family, you know.
That's right.
My why, that's my why, you know. And, you know, I see a lot of friends who are the same age as me or younger, and they just have like some deliberately issues going on, and they can't really, you know, they can't really do stuff, you know. And that's my why. It's all about, as I said before, it's all about the quality of life. I want a great quality while I'm here.
Me too. And like I said, you have the energy and movement of somebody much younger.
Thank
like
you.
It's incredible.
Thank you.
And somebody, okay, how long did it take you to go from the 3 meals to the OMAD, to the 1 meal a day?
Okay, so I was eating like, I think 2 or 3 meals when I first started the fruits only. After, I say, actually, it's been about like maybe like 5 years now, maybe 6 years. So I'll be eating 1 meal a day from 2 or 3 meals a day. About 5 or 6 years now.
About 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. So it happened. I think I posted about it on Facebook. I did a post recently. I've just wanted to eat 1 meal a day. You know, just feel my body. That's what my body needs. I don't need an extra meal. And I think I posted about 5 years ago. I think.
Wow.
About 5 years ago.
Okay. And in your group, where I don't think I asked you this already. In your group, where you've seen a lot of people do these fruit cleanses.
Yes.
What are some crazy, amazing things you've seen? Like, have you seen any big transformations or like crazy results or?
Yeah, I've seen people cancer being reversed, psoriasis, lupus, high blood pressure. Oh, there's so many, kidney disease, so many. I mean, that was just a few to name, but there's so many people are reversing. Some people reverse quicker than others. Some people reverse diabetes for type 2. Also, I've seen type 1 diabetes. I have 2 people in the group reverse type 1 diabetes, which is really unheard of. But
yeah, and people would never think that would happen with fruit.
The people would never think that, but I've seen it happen.
Wow.
You know, so I always tell people when they join the group, come into the group with an open mind. They may ask me, "Oh, have you seen anybody reverse this issue? Like maybe an issue that no one's ever reversed in the group I've heard of." I said, "Well, you know, so at the end of the day, it's all about cleansing and detoxifying the body. So you could be the first one. You could be the first one in the group that it actually, you know, reverse. Even though I don't have any testimonies to give you regarding that, but the only way you got to find that is if you try."
Yeah. Okay. Amazing. And who are your mentors?
I don't really have any now. You know, I really don't. I mean, I see a lot of guys and girls doing a lot of different things. You know, but it's just the wisdom that I've learned over the years. That's what keeps me focused, and the way I feel regarding while I'm doing the exercising, you know, working out, exercising, eating the fruits. It just keeps me focused. So that is really, basically my mentor is myself. Basically, that's what it is.
Yeah, and what would you say are like some of the greatest things you've learned about health along the way? Because 30 years eating clean, eating just real food, what would you say are like the 3 biggest things you've learned about health?
I would say that health is wealth. You know, if you have a lot of money, you don't have your health, you don't have anything. You know, just being vibrant, just being able to do what just the daily things that you can do every single day, feeling well and moving around and enjoying your family and traveling if that's what you like to do, and just enjoying life. Those are the main things. Yeah. You know, maybe try to be stress-free. I mean, stress is something that happens, but we just, you know, you learn to be stress-free because you're doing something great for yourself. Yeah. You're not worried. You're not worrying about disease.
Yeah, true.
You're not worrying about that, you know?
And what would you say to people who are like, they don't believe you? They don't think you're really doing this. This morning, I showed my friend. He's cool. He's in New York and he's gay. And he was like, Orville's hot. This guy's hot. And he's like, I don't believe it. Show me the receipts. There's no way. He's like, there's no way that this guy's only eating fruit. So what do you say to people who say that? Because I'm sure you get people who don't believe you or who don't believe your age.
Yeah. I what can I say? You know, it's just like, I'm not here to, you know, my thing is I'm not here to prove to anybody what I'm doing. Yeah. It's just what I do. You know, when I'm on Facebook or Instagram, all I do is promote the group challenge regarding what fruits can do for regarding health. I'm not really talking about myself, saying, oh, I'm not saying this is that. You know, it's not to do with me. It's to do with you. If you have an issue with yourself, then that's what I talk about. That's what it is. You know, it's not about me. I know what I do, but I know how it made me feel, because at the beginning when I first started, before I started the challenge, a lady on Facebook says, you know something, you should create a group. So I was doing my workouts and started eating fruits, And she said, you should do a group so people can actually try what you're doing. And that's how the Fruit Feast Challenge came along.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
And speaking of ladies, how's the dating scene as a fruitarian?
Yeah, I don't really date.
No,
I don't. Just keep it out here.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just live your best life, and if the right person comes along, then they come along, right? Rather than getting on the apps.
I don't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, and okay, so it's been like 30 years, like no animal products, or like a long time, no animal products.
Yes.
Yeah, and you feel like, because a lot of people think, oh, you need your protein. Like, so if people ask you where to get your protein, how do you answer that?
I get it from plants, in fruits. Amino acids in fruits. That's you don't find protein in animals. That's just recycled amino acids. You just have to. The animals is the middleman. Why would I? For instance, a cow is eating the grass to get the amino acids. Why would I have to eat the cow to get it from the plant when the cow got it from the plant and I can get it from the plant? Which makes more sense, because when I get it from the cow, then now the body has to break down the protein to the smallest components, to amino acids. You got all the cholesterol, you got all the saturated fats. The body got to deal with that, which can cause a lot of problem in the body before it can actually get to the amino acids that the body can use it. When I eat a plant, when I eat a fruit, the amino acids is readily available right there. The body just uses it there and then.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And what about the holidays? What do you do on like Thanksgiving and Christmas if you're gathered around with family? Or
I don't even do anything. And if I do, if I'm around family or friends, I'll have my fruits, or they will provide fruits for me.
Oh, good. And they're probably pretty supportive. You probably have a really good group of people around you, right? You have to. You can't support yourself with people who are like, this is nuts, right?
Friends, people know what I'm like, so they know,
And you're living your best life, right? You feel like this is your best life. But you're not saying everyone has to live one meal of fruit a day.
No.
I couldn't do it. I like other variety too much.
And that's fine, So just eat, I'll just say, if you like fruits, eat all the varieties you like. I eat one meal. I eat usually monofruit, because I prefer that than fruit salads. I'm not really a fruit salad. The only time I like to mix my fruits is when I make a smoothie. But other than that, in the group, I tell people, eat. The rules are very simple. Eat your favorite fruits. That's all it is. Eat whatever you like. Pineapples, grapes. Don't eat a fruit that you don't like, because you think it's a super fruit and it's got to be better for you. Don't do that.
Yeah. What do you think is the most high vibration fruit? The most high vibration food?
I think anything with a lot of hydration. Any like the berries and the melons and the grapes, mangoes. I think any fruits with a high water content.
Yeah, okay. And do you think we're not meant to eat greens? Like, some people think that literally because the plants, they think we're not supposed to eat like kale and plants like that.
Well, I think that, but everyone to their own, because I see that, I look at it like this. If I'm not attracted to eating kale without putting anything on it, then, if I have to put something on it to make it palatable, then it's not for me. I want to eat something that I enjoy without adding anything to it. Yeah, keep that food in its virgin state. Yeah.
Okay, and so I'm originally Canadian. I'm from Toronto. Now I live in America. I love living here. But it's a different healthcare system, right? In Canada, we just have everything. You just have your health card.
Right.
And it's, it's supported by the tax system there. So you never pay if you have a baby, if you go to the doctor, everything's free. So when I moved here, that was a big difference. And it was like, oh, do I get healthcare? Don't I? Like, I never get sick, but should I get it? And then my daughter fell and broke her arm, and we realized, okay, I'll just get it. But do you have healthcare in this country or no?
I don't.
No, you don't.
I don't.
None.
None.
Wow.
No. I mean, I'm from the UK, so I know the same thing.
Same thing there. It's like how Canada is.
Yeah. You just you don't pay for anything and stuff like that. But I don't have any.
Wow. Okay.
Not good.
Blow behind your back. You've been good all these years, because you think, okay, well, that's good.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's working. Like, overall, you feel like the lifestyle's working. What would you say are like the biggest changes like the biggest comparisons of being on a real food diet and your fruitarian diet versus the diet you were on before? Because what did you used to eat before you got healthy?
Well, okay. In 1985, I gave up. This is before I came, before I came to vegan or anything. I gave up. I think I was always on a health journey, because in 1985, I gave up red meat and pork.
In 1985? Like, that was just like the height of like bad food. What?
Yeah, exactly.
That is very rare, Orville.
1985, I gave up that, and I also gave up drinking coffee and stuff like that. I gave all that up. So I used to read.
They must have thought you were nuts.
Because
they're all walk around, big hair, watching Dynasty, drinking their cocktails for breakfast. I was eating sugar out of the jar in the 80s. Yeah, so it wasn't a healthy time.
Yeah, so I gave up that. That was I gave up that in 1985.
That's funny. Yeah. So you think, and so what did a typical day look like before?
Typical day, I wasn't really a bad eater, because growing up in the UK with Jamaican parents, as well. Then we had a home cooked meal, Jamaican food. It was staple. My staple diet was Jamaican food.
So Sundays, your family must have thought this what's happening because they must have thought eat the Jamaican food, right?
Yeah. Well, growing up, we had the rice and peas and chicken on a Sunday. We always had a cooked meal every single day, except on Fridays. Then our mother would give us some money, say, "Oh, you can go and get yourself some whatever, some fish and chips or whatever." But every single day, it was always a cooked meal,
Wow. And any advice for somebody who feels like an outcast in their life? Like, I'm not saying you're an outcast. Right. I'm saying when we eat raw like this, it's a very different way of eating.
Right.
And it's not the norm, right? At all. So any advice for somebody watching, like how to get through that? Because society doesn't eat like that, right?
Yeah, they don't. For me, with my family, I've never had any problems when it came to my whole diet change because they've seen it from the beginning. So they say, "Oh, why you give up meat?" That was the beginning. But as the years went on, and they saw how I progressed in how I'm feeling and what I'm doing, so now they take my advice.
Mm-hmm.
They take my advice. So I know a lot of family members, even people in the group saying that people don't really support them in what they're doing or maybe ridicule them because they're eating this and eating that. But I've never experienced that with my family. But all I can say is for that is you just have to try and be strong, and what you're doing is right for you. You're feeling good, so don't let anyone pressure you into not doing what you need to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I know you didn't go into it for health crisis, and you are healthy, but looking back at your old self, say you did have a health crisis, and knowing what you know now, like what would be your tackle, your line of defense? Like what would you do? A fruit cleanse if you were facing something? Like the old you?
I can't really answer that question because I never had a crisis, and I'm at an age where most people have crises,
Yeah.
I'm at that age, so, and I don't think I'm gonna have a crisis right now. So, so if I was back at that age, like some of my friends who have crises right now, or a lot of them have passed away, then I cannot really answer that because I've never been in those shoes.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a crisis before, then I could have kind of said, "Oh,
True.
well, yeah."
Good
I could
point.
say, "Yeah, I had a crisis, and this is what like this, and this is decided to do raw or vegan." But I never had a health crisis. It's all about prevention and cure.
And how's your creativity? Because I know Steve Jobs. I heard that he used to say he did like fruit cleanses sometimes because it made him feel super creative.
Yeah,
Do you feel like you notice those effects on the fruit lifestyle?
Yes. Yeah, it gives me a creative mind. It makes you just think. It just makes you think. It makes you do.
Mm-hmm. And how's your eyesight?
My eyesight is perfect.
Wow, that's amazing, Orville. No way. Yeah, because a lot of people think you need glasses as you get older, or the eyesight will get worse.
Yeah. No, these are for aesthetic reasons, but wow. I don't need glasses. Yeah, my eyesight's are perfect.
That's amazing. And I think I asked you what the best part is. I think you said energy, but I can't remember. What would you say are like the 3 best parts about living this lifestyle?
I'll just say energy tops everything. Energy.
Yeah.
Feeling light. Feeling creative, as he says.
Yeah.
So much, just feeling. It's just overall feeling great.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't feel great.
Yeah,
true.
And
it's unfortunate because they can feel great. They've never experienced how good really feels.
I know.
And that's very sad. I mean, this is something you have to experience at least once in your life, how you can really feel.
True. Well said. And do you think there's any risks? Do you ever feel like long term, or do you ever have a moment where you're like, oh, maybe there's some risks, or no? You feel 100% good?
Yeah, I don't.
About it.
Yeah, I don't. That's the thing. When people tend to think negative about what they're doing, those things can manifest.
True.
Because it's like the cells have a way of communicating with each other. If you're stressing yourself out, stress is the worst thing. Stress can kill you.
I know.
If you're stressing yourself about such and what you're doing, then that can kill you. And I tell people, if you cannot trust your diet, what you're doing, do not do it. Go back to what you're doing.
Well said.
You know?
And how do you keep such a positive mindset? How do we not stress out? How do we like live light and airy like this?
Because if you're feeling great every day, and you're not feeling anything, you're not going backwards, then that should be your medicine. You're feeling so. Despite what you hear from the media, despite what you hear from this other person, if you're taking what other people think, then you gotta fail.
Yeah. And do you believe in juices and smoothies or no?
Smoothies, yes.
Yeah.
Juicing, I like juices as well, but I don't. I just have a juice every now and then, you know. But it's not something that I would actually go and juice, you know. But yeah, but juicing is very, you know, like I like orange. I like fresh orange juice. It's very refreshing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this has been great.
Yeah.
I love sitting down with you. I just feel like I love learning your journey. And
thank you.
Yeah, I think it's like I said, it's been a couple years since we met, right?
Yeah.
And any big changes in that time?
No, pretty much consistent.
Yeah. What does a day in the life look like for you? Because you live in New York, right?
I live in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. So up in the morning, early in the morning, go to the gym, then come home, relax for a little while, go to work. I work in Astoria, Queens, and sometimes, some days, I walk it back. I walk it all the way back from Astoria, all the way back to Harlem. Like
That's
I
great.
did it yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, it was like
How many hours is that?
It was like 2 hours. I just
Yeah.
took a steady pace. Like it was like 9 miles.
Yep.
All the way across the 59th Street Bridge, and walked up by Central Park West, all the way up into Harlem.
That's what I do when I'm in New York, because I'm here this week. I walk a couple hours a day.
Yeah,
it's like,
good,
20 to 35,000 steps.
Yeah,
And you
absolutely.
feel so good when you're
so
walking.
Good. Yeah, you feel so good.
Are there any other keys to health for you? Because I know like it starts with the food and then the movement. Anything else that you do?
The mindset.
The mindset.
The mindset. That is the key. That is the key to health, is having a great mindset. You know, because once you start to do things and you see things happening for you positively, then stick to it. Don't listen to the outside noise, because you're always going to get the outside noise.
Well said.
Don't listen to it.
Yeah. Okay. Any other words to end off for somebody watching who maybe they're not eating well, or they're not feeling great, they're going through a hard time?
Right. Just pick yourself up, focus, read a lot about the raw diet, fruitarian diet. Just try something. Try something that you think you can sustain, first of all. I would say, for instance, if a person is still eating meat, go to a vegan diet. Go to a vegan diet and start from there and progress. You may stick to a vegan diet for the rest of your life, which is fine. You may want to change, you go to a raw diet, but that's what it's all about, progression, and everybody's journey is different.
Yeah. And what are some of the most common questions you get as a fruitarian? Like, what do you find people are asking you the most?
It's usually the protein.
That's what I thought.
And it's funny because I also get that questions from people in a vegan diet as well, which I find it kind of odd.
Wow, really? Yeah.
Yeah, and I find it kind of odd because, you're just eating fruits, but they were saying, well, don't you eat beans or nuts? I said, listen to yourself, what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because when you was a meat eater, you know what I mean, you went to a vegan diet, and now you're eating beans and nuts. Now you go to like a fruitarian diet. So it seems like whatever kind of category you are, they think you're still not getting enough. So, you're eating meat, you go to a vegan diet, you have to eat your beans and your nuts to get protein. You go to a fruitarian diet. So where are you getting your protein from? It's from. So it's kind of funny when I kind of look at it like that. It's just different. I mean, we cannot compare our diet to the standard American diet. We cannot compare it. It's not the same. It's not the same.
True. Yeah.
We're seeking out all these nutrients that we think we need, when you have to look into nature. Nature is a place to look and see how those animals thrive, whether they eat plants or whether they're carnivores. You have to see how they thrive, and they don't go seeking out. They just eat what they're supposed to eat.
Yeah, what do you think about the carnivore diet? I would say that's a bigger thing probably than the vegan diet right now, don't you think? It's kind of more like on trend with people than...
Right. Something, I haven't looked into it, but that's something I wouldn't do, but I haven't, people, there's always like a lot of vegans gone to carnivore diets and stuff like that. And I just say, if they feel better, good on them, but I don't promote it,
No,
I don't promote it. I just talk about what I think is great.
Imagine how backed up you must feel if you're just eating meat all the time, right? Yeah, because you're not used to that. You probably have a good digestive system with the method you do, right?
Yeah. I think the carnivores are like the Atkins diet. It's just a glorified name now. It's
something will happen. I think things will shift. It'll come back to like more plants, even if people don't want to be vegan. I'm just all about eat whole food, eat real food, right?
Yeah. And a lot of people say, oh, yeah, I've gone to the carnivore diet and my ailments have disappeared. And I feel, I have to address this. They say my ailments have disappeared, and when I was vegan, it didn't, or you're raw vegan. I said, I'll tell you why. The reason why your ailments have disappeared is because they haven't really disappeared, because with raw foods, they're very vibrational. They will shake up all those toxins within your system. Fruits is the most highest vibrational food on the planet, but everything else is raw. Vegan is vibrational. Now, because these toxins hasn't exited out of your body, when you went to that carnivore diet, what happened is that meat or all that other stuff pushed all that toxins back into the fatty tissue to settle. And you got to feel well. Mm-hmm. I tell people, and this is the reason why when people decide to do fruits up online, people say, oh, fruits is dangerous, it made me sick, it did that. I says, no, it didn't make you sick. Basically what happened, you were being sick from your own toxicity that was being released. That's all it was, and that's only a process, and that'll take some time, some people longer than others, to clear out your system. So a lot of people give fruits a bad name because they think, they felt sick while they were eating. I says, this is the reason why, the group I do, I like people to join the group, because my group is not just about eating fruits. The whole group is a 30-day education. Everything is not, okay, everyone's eating fruits and all why, but the reasons why you're doing it. So I'm talking about the myths about nutrition. I'm talking about herbs. I'm talking about greens. I'm talking about nuts. I'm talking about seeds. I'm talking about the type of water you drink. I'm talking everything, everything in the group. So when they leave the group, they have all this information. So if someone tries to question them, they can answer them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And when was the last time you went to a doctor then? I guess it's been
a long time ago. Many
you
years.
Can't even remember, right?
I can't remember. Many years ago.
Yeah, and you're feeling good. So
I feel great. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm glad it's working for you. It's all about just living our own best life, what's authentic to us. And
Absolutely.
I'm glad you found this path, because it just feels like it's in alignment. It's right for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, where can everybody find you? Do you do these groups all the time? You do the groups still?
Yes. Well, so right now I got the September group going on, and that's closed. But the next one is I have right now. Before I only did the groups every other month.
Yeah.
But now I do the groups every month. But in between months, I do a mini challenge, which is 14 days. And a lot of people that's attainable for a lot of people doing 14 days, because the main challenge is 30 days. So the 14 days can actually build up to the 30 days. But it's every month. The next one, the next mini one is October 1st, and the next main one is November 1st.
Okay, nice.
And they can find me on Facebook, Orvel Douglas, or my other page, Orvel Douglas Fruitarian Lifestyle on Facebook, and on Instagram is the Orvel Douglas Black Fruitarian, and that's about it, really. I think. Yeah. And my website.
Oh, your website
my website is my name, orveldouglas.com. Everything is on there. All the information regarding the Fruit Feast challenges. That's where you join. The Fruit Feast challenge is very inexpensive to join. The mini challenge is $12 to join for 14 days.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and the main challenge is $27 to join.
And the little fruit cleanse can do a lot. I've done them before too. I did 21 days on watermelon. I did, I think, 21 days on grapes, and they feel so good just for a period of time. Like you don't have to do it forever. Like just do it. It feels so good.
Even if you only do it for a couple of days, you'll feel the difference. But the longer you go, the more better for you. And also, I have a new ebook.
Nice.
I have a new ebook. So it came out in June. So I have a new ebook, and that ebook is geared towards the Fruit Feast challenge, because everything is all the information that I talk about within the group, and within the ebook, there's video links connected to some of the topics. Yeah. And also, they get like a free 30-day health journal to document what they're doing and stuff like that. So that's for the Fruit Feast challenge. Or without the Fruit Feast challenge, they can still got the information in the ebook.
Amazing. Okay, and what's your favorite book? What's your favorite book and favorite quote?
My favorite book was the Mucusless Diet.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, the Mucusless Diet. I'm not a big reader. I used to be back when I was getting into learning about nutrition and all that, but now I'm not really a big reader. But that was my favorite book. I found that book in a store called Lifetime on 6th Avenue, a health food store. I think back in the 90s, I think I paid like $2.
Wow, that's amazing.
$2 for the yeah. And my favorite quote: if you can do it today, don't wait until tomorrow.
Yeah, I love that.
You're
good
right,
one.
right.
Well, this has been amazing. You're good vibes. It's always good
Thank
seeing
you.
you. I love your
Likewise.
energy, and thanks for coming on. Thanks
Thank
for
you
sharing.
for having me. I love your show. I really do.
Thanks.
I really do. You have some amazing people on here, and I love being on your show.
Yeah, we love having you on.
Yeah, so anytime, bring me back.
Yeah, I'll be back. I love New York. I come here a lot. Okay, awesome. Yeah. And Orville, you and I did a great podcast, like we said a couple years ago. So I'll pop that on the screen right now. And another really good video. Go check them out, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Okay, bye.